Now, Bob, you were at the CPKC Women's Open all week in Calgary. Looked like another home run by Golf Canada, a great event, and a wonderful story here, too, with Lauren Coughlin winning for the first time in her career.
A great story, and you always like to see those players break through. We've seen it now 2 years in a row. Lauren has been out playing professional golf, either sort of Epson LPGA tours since 2018, and to finally put her over the top. And she talked about that in that little interview about her caddy, Terry McNamara. He caddied for many, many years for Annika Sorenstam. So to have somebody with that experience alongside her was great. And I think she really got it done on the first two rounds. That was really, really windy. The rough was really, really long. Trying to keep the ball in the fairway on that golf course through the first two rounds was awkward. She did it 10 out of 14, 10 out of 14 on Thursday and Friday, and I think that might have been the key that propelled her on to the victory. And that little putt on 17, which set her apart, two-shot lead going into the last hole, obviously very clutch as well.
Yeah, it was a great finish, too. I love the rink hole as well, Mark, as we discussed on GTC Radio on Monday. But for Brooke Henderson, now 7 top 10s on the season. Mark, what do you think Brooke takes away from last week at the CPKC Women's Open?
I mean, we all like to point to the putting and we like to point to things of that nature. And the putting was, at the very least, guys, it was consistent. Her lowest putting round was 29. Her highest putting round was 31. So she's hovering in the same neighborhood for 4 days. But you look at that finish on Friday, the 4 bogeys to finish. You look at the ball striking on Thursday and Friday. I know conditions were a little different there. I'm not suggesting it was easy when she was coming in. But at the end of the day, 5 fairways on Friday, 11 greens Thursday, 12 greens Friday. It was really the ball striking that was a bit of a problem early in the tournament. And, it's quite easy to always point to the putter, but this was not a Brooke ball striking type week. It got so much better on the weekend, especially on Sunday. So here we are again. I use this term quite often when we talk about Brooke, a victim of her own success. If we go an entire season on the LPGA Tour without a Brooke Henderson victory, because she is so good, because she has accomplished so much, it kind of feels like a lost season. I hate to say that, but it's certainly trending for me and the way I feel about this year in that direction.
Interesting, Mark. Now, for Elena Sharp, Bob, this was a great finish at T14, her best finish on the LPGA Tour this season. How impressed were you by Sharp's performance at the CPKC Women's Open?
Very impressed. This is the result of a lot of hard work. And, she went through the last couple of years where her game was starting to fall off a little bit. She really didn't know how she could kind of keep herself into the game professionally. She went down one on the Epson Tour, has brought herself back, and she is working really hard with one goal in mind, and that is to play well at the Olympics. I think that right now what she's doing is probably some of the best golf I've seen of her career. She's a journeywoman. She admits that, and she isn't nearing the end of her career. She says this is the final chapter. She wants to go out on a high note, though, and I think this finish at the CPKC Women's Open shows you there's still a lot of golf left in the tank for Elena Sharp.
And Elena Sharp and Brooke Henderson off to the Olympics in Paris next.